My name is Michael McCabe and I'm the branch manager at Yeovil Pen Mill. So I joined the army at 16 straight out of school and went up to Harrogate and I joined the infantry from there. So been all over the world, went to Northern Ireland, Afghanistan, Kenya, Falklands, Cyprus as well, so really well travelled. And then in 2014 I left the army when we were posted to London. I think you get two people that leave the services. You either get one that's really motivated towards one type of industry, or you get people like me that tend to not have so much of a kind of firmer plan. So I tried my hand on the railway for a couple of years initially, and then obviously come towards Screwfix as I took more of an interest in business, and then I also went off to do a degree, so it lined up really well. So when I was working on the railway in operations, I gained quite a lot of interest in kind of business all round, so anything from finance to kind of HR and all that. So I went off and done Open University starting in 2015. So I did a business management degree with them, which finishes in March next year. There's a really close friend of mine used to run the Brixton trade counter, Alistair Hanley, and so we were talking at a wedding about it, and I said that I wanted to gain a more rounded experience in business, and so he was with Screwfix for many years, so he suggested joining Screwfix, and with my experience and background from the army and the railway, I was able to come in as a branch manager. So I think one of the biggest ones definitely was coursemanship and being able to do that. So when I joined, it was a selection day, so there's about 20 other people applying for only 2 management positions at the time, and so during the selection day, being able to work well as a team but also having the confidence to stand out as an individual as well really helped me, and that's definitely something I gained whilst in the armed forces. So I think culturally, yeah, there are huge differences, but I think anyone leaving the armed forces now will find that no matter what industry they're going, and it's very hard to replicate that. But what I have had is wonderful teams to have worked with. So many branches I've been at, there's a outside of COVID, there's a great social life, regular pub visits, Christmas dinners and things like that, and definitely some good team bonding and exercises that we can do. Inside the branches, you get a good healthy amount of laughs really, so that helps the day go through, and that's working in such close proximity and tight-knit groups that really replicates what you get in the armed forces as well as a wider network of management. So for me, I have other branch managers that I meet, if not monthly, if not weekly, to have coffees and catch-ups with. So that's that's definitely a culture thing there where you can talk to people outside of work. Yeah. In general, the advice I would give is definitely do your research on the companies. So when I was joining Screwfix, I did my research. You can't deny the figures. It's a cracking company to join. It's got some of the best Glassdoor reviews going. Also, getting an opportunity to come down and have a look at it as well, which is really good. And I think for Screwfix, for me anyway, if using that as a specific kind of job or company to go in on, it's the whole, everything that's involved. So it's not just the retail, there's a warehouse, the health and safety elements of it, the HR, the one-to-ones, the engagement, the money, the sales, everything all kind of combines to make it that kind of dynamic environment to work in. So I would say to any service leaver, definitely look for a dynamic environment to work in, because it plays to your talents really. So the benefits are really attractive, and one of the reasons that brought me to Screwfix. So the annual leave packages are really good. That's across the board as well, but as a branch manager, you get 6 weeks a year, which is plotted out really well, and there's a good flexibility of where you can have that as well, which is fantastic. Obviously the pay salary is really competitive, and certainly for retail industry, incredibly hard to beat. I would also say from a progression point of view as well, benefits wise, anyone coming in as a supervisor or even sales assistant, there's a wonderful progression process that you can go through, gain proper qualifications that you can use outside of here as well. But there's many people I've seen that have worked their way well up from sales assistant part-time all the way up to branch manager. So the pension's also a really good point with Screwfix. So it's incredibly hard, I think, out there to find a business, like Kingfisher, that matches you percent for percent. So if you're paying 7%, they're paying another 7% on top. So other than public sector, the military, or even the railway, these are some of the best pensions out there, and that's incredibly attractive going forward. My favourite thing about working at Screwfix is definitely the team's engagement. I've loved every single team I've worked with, had a cracking relationship. I'm very sad to leave any of them any time that I've moved branches. Not only in branch, but also like at a peer level, certainly. It's fantastic people to work with, people I talk with every single day, so can't get better than that really.